Welcome, prospective students and parents. We are delighted that you are joining us for this student panel session, and we hope that the information you learn from our current students gives you some perspective on what it means to be a student at Robert Morris University. First, we would like each student to introduce themselves by stating their name, year, major, and any clubs or organizations they are a part of.
Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew Corkery. I'm a senior actuarial science major. Some of the things I do on campus: I am the class president for the class of 2016. Everyone on this panel will be a Colonial Ambassador. I'm also a community advisor, a part of Black Student Union, and president of the Actuarial Science Club.
My name is Maureen Como. I'm a sophomore nursing major. I'm also a community advisor as well, and I'm also a member of the BHH Club.
Hi, my name is Matt Scolari. I'm a junior mechanical engineering major. My clubs are National Society of Collegiate Scholars, American Society of Mechanical Engineers, and I'm also secretary of LEGO Club.
Hi, I'm Veronica Smittle. I'm a senior hospitality and tourism management major as well as a marketing major. I am involved in HATMA, which is a Hospitality and Tourism Management Association, and I'm manager of the club lacrosse team.
I'm Quahim Brown. I am a junior and a marketing student. I am involved all over campus. I am a community advisor, president of Black Student Union, a member of AMA, which is American Marketing Association, and also a member of Italian American Club.
Hello, I'm Merritt Donahue, and I am a junior communications major. I am class president of the class of 2017. I'm president of the ambassadors as well, and president of student program board. I am a women's leadership and mentorship mentor, a first-year studies seminar mentor, and I'm also in the Who's Who's National Honor Society.
Hi, my name is Brian Maroon. I'm a senior actuarial science major, and on campus I'm involved with the Actuarial Science Club, National Society of Collegiate Scholars, and also involved with intramural sports.
Okay, thank you all so much for those introductions. Next, we will begin the question and answer portion of the panel session. The first question is, if you could go back in time, what would you tell your high school self?
Well, I can take this one. For my high school self, I think what I would tell myself would just to reassure myself that I made the right decision coming to Robert Morris. Sitting here with one semester left, I know I have a job waiting for me upon graduation. I had 2 great internships, had great experience with the faculty and staff, got to pass my actuarial exams as an actuarial science student. So everything has just worked out really well here. So I think I would just take the opportunity to just reassure myself that I made the right decision coming here.
Thank you. I would definitely tell myself in high school not to worry so much about picking a major or a career path right then and there. When you're looking at colleges, there's a lot of options, and maybe when you're looking at campuses, it's more so about how you feel there and the fit on campus. And if you could see yourself there for 4 years, you don't really have to worry about the major or the career path. It'll all fall in place if you pick the right place to go to school to.
Okay, so the next question is what is your favorite thing about RMU?
My favorite thing about RMU is that you get to pretty much map your success plan. You can do whatever you want as far as like a club organization. You can create one. Also that it's so close to the city, but also still is a tight-knit community within Robert Morris's gates.
I would have to say what I love about RMU is that all of the opportunities that I've gotten here to be a leader on campus. My resume is filled with clubs and organizations that I'm a part of, and through all the clubs and organizations you can be president, secretary. There's a lot of leadership, and that has helped a lot of, I guess, networking opportunities for me to get internships around the area.
And then I have 2 quick things. So the first thing is the campus is just very beautiful to be on. And then the second thing is the people. Everybody's very down to earth, and you can actually have a real conversation with someone. And it's a great place to be.
Okay, the next question is, can you have a car on campus?
Yes. It's great that you can have a car on campus. You can have one all 4 years. I personally didn't have a car freshman or sophomore year, but then I did get an internship my junior year, so it was really nice that I could have the access to have a car on campus. You pay, if you're a commuter student, you pay $140 for a year pass, and then if you're a resident student, you pay $250 for a year pass.
Thank you. The next question is, what activities are there to do on the weekends?
Well, we have a lot of really awesome sports programs here at Robert Morris. So if you have a lot of Robert Morris pride, which hopefully most of our students do, those are always a lot of fun activities to do on the weekends, basketball games, football games. We really like to support our teams on the weekends.
Since RMU is close to the downtown Pittsburgh, it's nice to utilize the things that Pittsburgh offers, like the Pittsburgh teams, along with all the restaurants and the sightseeing, because a lot of people who do go here aren't from Pittsburgh, so it's nice to see what the city has to offer as well.
Thank you. The next question is, how do you pick roommates?
So when you're choosing roommates, especially when you come in freshman year for this, how it usually works is you will do sort of similar to like an online dating survey. If you don't know anyone come in, if you know someone who you're coming to school with as a freshman, you can choose a room with them if you'd like to. But if not, you do this survey that says, I like this type of music, I go to bed at this time, similar to like what your interests are, and just they try to match you based on that. Or now some students are actually going right to Facebook and choosing their roommates. So with the RMU student groups, you go into RMU class of whatever your class is and say, this is my name, this is what I'm interested in, I'm looking for a roommate. So a lot of students will do that to find their roommates.
Thank you, Brian. The next question is if you could change one thing about your experience at Robert Morris, what would it be?
If I could change one thing about my experience at Robert Morris, I would definitely get involved a lot sooner. My experience definitely changed dramatically once I became involved as a student leader on campus. It definitely helped me exponentially.
Similar to what Quahim said, I think I would do a little bit better job of mapping out the things I wanted to do early in my college career. For example, I always kind of wanted to study abroad, but I just pushed it off later and later, and then eventually it was too late to actually study abroad. So I would have done a better job of mapping out clubs and different things I definitely wanted to do during my time, and done a better job of trying to make sure they all fit in.
Okay. So the next question is, how accessible are your professors?
Okay, so our professors actually here at Robert Morris are designated to have at least 6 office hours on campus. So if you need to get a hold of your teacher, you can always drop in for office hours because they will be there for you guys if you have any questions about your tests or any questions requiring the lecture information.
Yeah, I totally agree. They're very much there to help you. Another thing is because the professors actually teach the classes, definitely ask them for recommendation letters because they'll write you some fantastic recommendation letters. And you're not getting it from like a TA. It's actually coming from the professor, which holds a lot of weight.
Okay, great. So are there options for tutoring?
Yes. Again, there are a lot of options for tutoring. Like Maureen said earlier, all of your professors have office hours on campus, and that's the best. Professors love when you can go to office hours. They love to help out their students a lot. And as Matt said, all of the courses are taught by the professors too. So it's really nice that when you go to their office hours, you have that connection. Unlike if you did have like a teacher assistant, there might be a void there. We also do have a Center of Student Success here on campus. And in the center, there's actually student tutors down there. And it's an on-campus job for them. They had to at least get an A in the class that they're tutoring. And that's also a great resource. And that's all included too. You don't have to pay an additional cost for them.
Okay, thank you, Merritt. How helpful is the Career Center, and do they help you find on-campus jobs and internships?
The Career Center is actually really helpful. They have a lot of different amenities that are built into the Career Center. For instance, I didn't have a suit jacket, so I kind of went there and I said, hey, listen, guys, I need a suit jacket. They found me one that day, let me use it, and it helped me out a lot. Also, I was able to get an internship with the Pittsburgh Steelers in their marketing department through them. They do a lot of mock interviews on campus. They do resume building, and it's honestly a great place and great resource on campus.
Yeah, the Career Service Center is really amazing. Even today, as a senior, I sent my resume over to get a little work done to it. So, whenever you're dealing with a resume, a cover letter, a mock interview, you can always go there for help. They will have people kind of assigned to different majors. So, the nice thing is, for my 4 years here, I've always worked with the same person whenever I've needed help on anything. One of the other things that the Career Service Center does is they will help set up different opportunities for students to get internships and get jobs. And additionally, your major also will do that a lot of times as well. So I can speak as an actuarial science major. We do have our own actuarial science career fair day, and I have heard that that's common among other majors as well. Lastly, we do have something called Colonial Track on campus, which is just a website with online postings of different jobs on campus and internships. So that makes it very easy for students to streamline and look at a lot of different offers, or I should say opportunities, all at once.
Thank you. So, what is Greek life like on campus?
Greek life is actually really big on campus. It is something that everyone is pretty much involved in. You'll find a lot of students are involved in Greek life. It's really just a great place to fellowship between our classmates, and they do a lot of community service, philanthropy. They are always looking to help the greater cause.
Thank you. Are sports a big part of campus culture?
Yeah, definitely. And there's actually like 3 aspects to it. So first, intramural sports are very big. I remember one year intramural sand volleyball had like 26 plus teams sign up, and that was a great time. Additionally, lots of people go to the sporting events on campus because they're free to go to. My favorite are basketball and hockey. And then the last thing, as the girls here mentioned, that we have a lot of great Pittsburgh teams. The Pittsburgh Penguins, Pittsburgh Pirates, those are great games to go to. So, yeah.
Thank you, Matt. So, what do you think makes Robert Morris distinctive?
I think the thing that really makes it distinctive for me is that you really have the opportunity to map out exactly what you want to do while you're there and really make it your own experience. So I've known quite a few students throughout my time here who have started their own clubs, such as the Lego Club that we didn't have when they got here, but they were really passionate about it, so they started it. Another example would be the chess club. So you really have the opportunity to make it your own experience, and you can really just map out exactly what you want to get done in 4 years.
Yeah, in addition to what Matt said, I think what I really love about RMU is that you have your own individual experience and you really get to make a name for yourself. You don't get lost in the numbers of a big school. You get to meet a lot of the people in your program. You get to familiarize yourself with the professors that you know in your department. So you really get to make a name for yourself here.
Similar, building off what they said, I think what's nice about Robert Morris is we have a good mix of a big school and a small school feel. A big school feel in the sense that we have our Division I sports, our hockey team, our basketball team, and the Robert Morris name is, I think, pretty recognizable when you're going in for jobs, resumes, things like that. It looks good on that. But as the small school feel in the sense that average class size is about 23 students, very similar to the high school class size, and I think that's really good. Helps get you involved in what you're learning, get you really engaged, get you to know your professors, other students in the class. So I think that mix is a really good experience.
Okay. The next question is, do you feel safe on campus?
Yes, I do feel safe on campus here. They do have a bunch of blue light safe emergency buttons for you guys to push if you ever feel unsafe on campus. I know that public safety will come and they'll walk you to wherever you want to go if you do feel unsafe, if you're walking at night or something like that. But me personally, even as a female, I've never felt unsafe on this campus.
Thank you. What kinds of residence hall options are there?
So we do actually have quite a few residence hall options. To start with the most basic, we do have quite a few freshman dorms on campus, which will be where most freshmen live. Those will be doubles, so it'll be you and your roommate. Dorms are co-ed by floor, so your whole entire floor will be boys or girls. As you get older, you can move into the suites. That'll be about 10 people living together. That'll be 5 rooms of 2, and then you will have bathrooms just for your specific suite and a common room. Then generally the apartments are for juniors and seniors. That'll be 4 or 5 people living together. They will all have their own individual room. You will get 2 bathrooms per room. Then you'll have a kitchen area and a common area. We do have 2 off-campus living arrangements. One is Yorktown Hall. So it's a converted Holiday Inn. Those are also traditional doubles with a few extra things added on that you wouldn't get in the freshman dorm. So you will get bigger beds and you will have your own bathroom, actually. So that's pretty nice. And then you have Braddock Hall, which is split between doubles and singles. That does give students the opportunity, if they wish, to live by themselves and not have a roommate.
Okay. So the next question is about study abroad. Have any of you studied abroad, and what was your experience?
I was fortunate enough to study abroad on a 2-week faculty-led program that we have here at Robert Morris. It was a trip to Istanbul and Cyprus, and there's other trips that go to other varying countries. And it was actually a program that was designed around my major, which is hospitality and tourism. And it was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made. It was an incredible experience. It was a group of about 15 students from RMU, as well as 2 faculty members. We started the classes here in the spring semester, and then we finished up the courses over in Istanbul and Cyprus, which were our destination countries. And I think it was a really great experience. It was probably an experience I wouldn't get otherwise if I didn't choose it at RMU.
I also studied abroad the same semester actually as Veronica, and I went to Ireland excuse me, on a faculty-led 2-week trip. It was the best experience ever. I think mine was the biggest studying abroad trip that went that semester, around 26 students, which is a lot of people to go on one trip. Some of our more popular studying abroad trips are also to Nicaragua. That's our most popular. There's 4 or 5 trips a year for that, and that's for our nursing students. We do have the semester-long options as well, too. My one friend, Justin, is in Japan right now studying, and I know 2 people in Scotland as well, too. So it is very popular here as well.
Thank you. So what are the dining options like on campus?
Well, I love food, and the food here at RMU is no exception. We have 5 total dining options on campus, one of them being a Starbucks, so that's my favorite. I love coffee. And then we also have 2 large cafeterias as well as a couple other small ones. But there's a wide variety of food options here. So even if you're a vegetarian or if you have any allergies or even if you're just a picky eater, there's plenty of options for dining on campus.
Thank you, Veronica. At this point, I think we're going to have all the students answer the last question. Why did you choose to come to Robert Morris?
I'll just kick it off and then send it down the line. It kind of sealed the deal when I came on my first visit to RMU. I fell in love with the campus, and even as my dad and I were walking around, we were a little lost, unfortunately, but we met so many nice faculty members and RMU students that were just totally willing to come up to us and ask us what we needed and tell us about their experience here. And it was on that day where I kind of felt like it's a family at RMU, which I still believe is true today. So it's definitely a tight community feel.
A lot like Veronica, I loved campus. RMU sent me tons and tons of mail, and I got tired of ignoring it. And I said, Mom, can we just go to this place? And we got here on campus, and we loved it. I definitely saw myself on campus. I think that's something that's really important when touring a school. You have to be able to see yourself and envision yourself on campus, walking around every day, going to classes, those types of things. And that definitely felt like home. It was a home. It's definitely been a home away from home.
I am actually a legacy. My mom and dad met at graduate school here, and then my middle sister came here for nursing, and then I actually wasn't sure if I wanted to come to RMU, and I did come here, and my mom was like, if you really don't like it, you can just switch schools, it's not a big deal, but just try it out. It's a really good school. So I did come here, and honestly, after day 1, completely fell in love with it. I know that sounds really cheesy, but it's really true, and I know I'm going to use the punchline. RMU definitely has changed my life, and I'm so excited to grow with RMU since I still have a year left.
So I have a similar story in the sense that my brother came here as well. So I looked at a bunch of other schools, and my brother came here, so I didn't take an official tour. He just kind of showed me around campus, told me about all his great class experiences, and I knew he got good internships and job offers from that. And then once I saw the actuarial science program here is one of the strongest programs in the country, one of only 18 or 19 CAE schools, Center for Actuarial Excellence in the country. The program was great. Spoke with some faculty. They were great, and had no regrets ever since. Since I got here, I'm really glad I made the decision I did.
the reason I really like Robert Morris is the people. So everybody sitting up here, they're not just my friends. I really do consider them my family, and that's a main reason.
I loved RMU from the moment I got here. I felt like a sense of welcoming when I got here. Everyone's very nice and very polite, but like the thing that really drew me in was my major. I picked this solely for my major because as a nursing student and as a lot of other majors as well, you have to apply into the program after your sophomore year. But with Robert Morris, I got accepted into the nursing program as a senior in high school. And so I knew that I wouldn't have to fight for a seat depending on my grades. It was just kind of, you're in the program, so you just have to uphold the grades. And that was a really big thing for me because college is expensive. And so you want to make sure that you're here and that your time is, you're being productive every time that you're here. And so I definitely picked RMU because of my major.
So similar to what Quahim said, I did get a ton of mail from RMU, and quite honestly, I didn't really want to come at first. I didn't think it was a school I wanted to go to, but my mom made me come and visit. And then from that moment on, once I got on campus, I loved it. I had a tour guide who was also an actuarial science major and who became one of my biggest mentors and someone I really look up to. So right off the bat, that was great. One of the professors was willing to spend about an hour and a half with me answering questions that, now that I'm older and look back, were probably kind of silly, but he didn't worry about that. He was really just willing to dedicate that time and make me feel comfortable. And similar to what some of the other students have said, I could just really see myself being successful here and having all the opportunities I was hoping for. So once I left campus after that first visit, I knew it was definitely where I was going to go.
Okay, great. So thank you all so much for your feedback. I think that it will really help some students get some perspective on what it's like to be a Robert Morris student. This concludes our student panel session for today. If anyone has further questions, please reach out to your assigned admissions counselor. Thank you for your time, and we hope you'll be joining us at Robert Morris University this year.